So I'm 37 weeks pregnant today, and every 2 weeks since I got pregnant I have been checking my weight, and some of my friends think I'm crazy. But for me, I think it was just more to see the trend like of the weight and when it's gone on and when it hasn't, because it definitely there have been times where you can see there's a lot more growth, and then there's times where it hasn't gone on as much. So it's just interesting, I suppose, to me, and that's how sad the life of a dietitian is, maybe. Okay, what's this gonna say? Okay. So yeah, and I'm sad I have like a little kind of Excel sheet, numbers sheet here. So the last 2 weeks I've gained 3 pounds. Oops. Let's see if this adds up properly. Which is a total of 12 kilos since I got pregnant, which is 26 pounds. Which I think is kind of, you know, I think we generally say somewhere between 1.5 stone and 2 stone is kind of like, you know, appropriate weight gain. Really, for the second 2 trimesters, you're meant to gain maybe 1 pound of weight a week. Of course, I gained 4 pounds in the first trimester, which often they say you gain nothing. But that was because I just had to eat, so I didn't feel sick. So yeah. So it's kind of like it. So 26 pounds, so I'm 2 pounds away from 2 stone on, which I suppose when you think about maybe my back being at me and all these other things, like it kind of makes sense, doesn't it, when you're carrying around an extra 2 stone, like that's an extra 28 pounds of butter if you equate it to that, and that it's right here. So interesting. So I finished work, which was probably the biggest thing, and it feels great. And I think all the time, kind of before work was finishing, I was working towards finishing. I was working towards Michelle, who's covering my leave, to be up and running, and we used to do crossover and, you know, just all these things. And I really wasn't thinking about having a baby. And people all through that time, because they knew I was finishing, they're like, oh, you must be so excited. And I'm like, no, I'm actually not that excited. And then like, what the hell is wrong with me? I'm not excited about having a baby. But I think I was focused. I really had to finish work. I was paranoid I was going to go early, especially with all these things I had going on with All Ireland, the replay, Alan had his county final, like there was loads of things going on. So I was just so focused on getting finished work. I just didn't give myself the opportunity, I think, to think too much about the other stuff. So once I finished, I think I've really been able to kind of maybe more embrace really what's happening. And even in the last few days now, like just the whole realization of what's happening is really, you know, kind of in a good way, kind of, I suppose I'm appreciating it and excited and nervous and, you know, but so the last few weeks have been a little bit crazy finishing up, but I seriously, like once I finished, I actually have totally switched off, so that's been nice. So I'm definitely now, like I think since I finished work, I've been able to really start thinking ahead and even imagining having a baby, you know, like it's kind of like when we got engaged, I was engaged, and then all of a sudden it hit me like, oh my God, I'm going to get married. Whereas all along for like 8 months or so, I've been pregnant, and that's all I've been thinking about, rather than the actual what it's leading to. And I think since I finished work, I've really been able to give it the energy that, oh my God, I'm having a baby, we're having a baby, like how that's going to change things, you know, like in a good way, and like being realistic about it. It's, you know, like if I want to go to Pilates in the future, like Alan will have to be home from the farm or whatever, you know. So like I suppose I am being practical about it as well. It's not going to be, you know, bed of roses, but obviously the payoff is like massive, you know. So no, it is, it's exciting. It's getting more exciting, I think, as time goes on now. But the other side of it, I think, is all along I've been kind of thinking, oh, you know, you just have to have this baby, blah blah blah, and the closer you get to it, it's like, oh shit, I have to go into labor. You know, so the closer you get to that, you know, you think more about, oh my God, how this baby has to come out.